And a great winner. It's a new challenge, though, as a starting first-year coach.
All right, let's have some fun tonight. Ball's in the air, and we're underway. Western Kentucky will control the tip. And here we go. They're run at the point by Sherry Porter. She'll work out front. And Notre Dame will start man-to-man. Guarded by Marina Mabry. Senior guard works out against her.
Irish out man-to-man to start the game.
This is Dee Givens, guarded by Young. So both players that we featured matched up here early. Givens can shoot it well from three, shooting over 40% on the season. Meryl Abdelgawad inside has the go off her feet and off her hands, rather. She was stepping out of bounds. Ball will go back to Notre Dame. They'll get their first offensive possession.
As we talked about Western Kentucky, they have not had any problem scoring points. It's going to be how they can defend, and so they're going to try to mix things up.
Yeah, Western Kentucky, you mentioned, they average 78 points per game, but they allow 78 points per game as well. You saw the graphic at the top of the show. That is in the bottom 10 of the NCAA. Also, field goal percentage against, bottom 10 of the NCAA amongst 349 teams. They rank very low.
Talking to Coach Collins, that's something that he's really concerned about, playing a great team. One of the things they're going to try to do is mix things up defensively.
And there's a quick takeaway as Arike Agumbawale lost it in deep. It's taken away by Dee Givens. She brings it back, and you matched up against Young. This will be a fun matchup to watch tonight, Coach. Two talented juniors, so far at least, matched up early. 15 to shoot. They go in deep. This is Raneem El Jadewi, and it's knocked out of play. They'll keep it with 11 seconds to shoot.
Just a great move coming back to her left hand there. But again, the presence and the length to get this block.
Now, Brianna Turner, two-time ACC Defensive Player of the Year, missed all of last season with an ACL injury. She's back, and Notre Dame's love to have her defensive presence in there. Abdelgawad again, she takes it in deep, and again, another block early on here. Brianna Turner proving to be a force inside.
Showing her presence right away defensively with her length and blocking two shots. 3 seconds on the shot clock here.
Immediately, Abdelgawad goes to the bench. Whitney Creech has checked in. The junior for Western Kentucky, a very accomplished high school player. And just 3 to shoot as Jackie Young gets a piece and tips this one out of play. Now just 2 to shoot.
Yeah, great anticipation there on that out-of-bounds play to knock it out of bounds. Now they're only 2 seconds. There's not a lot of out-of-bounds plays with 2 seconds.
And we'll see what they can dial up here. You get it in. This is El Jadewi, who does get one off. It does catch the iron, but it's no good, and it's picked up by Jessica Shepard. Transfer from Nebraska a couple seasons ago. She goes all the way down and gets the first basket of the game.
And she was not contested at all. She just had the paint all the way in, layup, easy basket for the Irish.
Sherry Porter has it out front, guarded by Mabry. Notre Dame in a 2-3 here.
Yes.
It looks like to start, Coach.
Looks like what they're doing on made baskets, they're going back to their 2-3 matchup. On misses, they might be going man-to-man.
We talked to Muffet McGraw earlier in the week. She said defense was a focus. Didn't think this team was where they need to be defensively right now. As Creech steps into a 15-footer, wouldn't go. Shepard has the rebound, and the Irish can push. This is where they're so dangerous. Great pass ahead to Turner, and an easy deuce.
Transition offense is just amazing for the Irish. That's going to have to be something that Western Kentucky is going to have to address, or they're going to be giving up a lot of layups and a lot of points.
Lady Toppers so far off to a rough shooting start. They're 0 for their first 5.
Back to the zone.
Still in that 2-3. Porter probes her way in, taken away. Here's Marina Mabry out in transition. She has Jackie Young with her. Gives it up. Oh, and a block from behind, but a foul as they'll call Givens for the infraction.
Again, when they can get those when they can get those looks where they're in transition, making a great outlet, down the floor we go, and just a great finish inside. You got to get people back against the Irish, and here's another great bounce pass and the foul.
Yeah, both of those good examples of Notre Dame getting out in transition. And that is really where they're dangerous. When we talked to head coach Muffet McGraw, she said that is where we're at our best. And again, she thinks they can be a little bit better in the half court, but anytime they can run, they want to do that.
As you get ready for conference play, everybody's so familiar, and so you have to go back to being very good in the half-court defense and the half-court offense. And so that's the things they're focusing in on as they get ready for the ACC play coming soon.
Jackie Young converts on a pair of free throws, shooting right around 81% from the charity stripe this year. She's able to convert, and for a Western Kentucky team that relies heavily on their offense, averaging 78 points per game so far, a slow start in this one, a scoreless first 2 minutes and now 50 seconds as they're searching for ways to attack this zone.
They are stymied by this zone right now.
Here's Givens, leading scorer for Western Kentucky, poked away by Young. Shepard gets it ahead, and once again the Irish are in transition. Here's Marina Mabry with a basket.
Defense makes the offense go, and that's exactly what we're seeing here in the opening minutes.
You could not have drawn up a better start for Notre Dame in this one, having their way both offensively, and I imagine to the coaching staffs, at least what they're happy with is the defense has really shown up here early as well. So far, Notre Dame has made all 3 shots they've taken. They are 3 for 3. Western Kentucky 0 for their first 5. They've also turned it over 4 times. Givens will try a 3, and there you go. They got to find a way to get her involved.
Absolutely, and boy, she had a great look, and it was nothing but net. They needed that basket desperately.
Well, Givens last year in Conference USA was the 6th player of the year. And this year's really taken it to another level, averaging 19.5 points per game to lead the team. But so far the story in this one, Coach, Notre Dame getting out and running.
Yeah, defense, deflections, getting the ball out, great outlet, attacking the basket, great bounce pass, great finish. That's just perfect transition offense.
And so far 4 of the 8 Notre Dame points have come off of turnovers as well, so they've taken advantage of those defensive plays you talked about.
You know, you said Coach McGraw was talking about how they need to get better in their half court, but I think their transition is the best in the country. They do such an incredible job getting the ball down the floor and running the floor. Another turnover.
Another tip. Oh, bounces right back into the hands of Raneem El-Jadawi, and it's back into the hands of Mabry. She gets it ahead. Here's Shepard, puts it on the floor, banks it in.
Running the floor, she does an incredible job of running the floor. You've got to reward the bigs when they run the floor. They were looking for her as she ran.
So 10-3 now here. And Notre Dame off to a good start in this one. El-Jadawi at the high post, takes it inside on Turner, couldn't get it to go. Rebound that time by Aram Niang, would not go either. Turner tracks it down again. Yes. Notre Dame can push. Western Kentucky slow getting back, and Shepard's got another deuce.
There is still no defense, and you can just see the transition is being brutal.
Notre Dame off to an excellent start. They have not yet missed a shot. They have a 12-3 lead over Western Kentucky, and they have had it going in transition.
And this is exactly what you're looking for if you're an Irish fan, is this transition, which is deadly. Advancing the ball up the floor, attacking out of transition, which has really happened due to turnovers. Here's a great turnover, pushing the ball up the floor, getting it to the open person, and you're not missing a shot. They're all layups.
Yeah, so far 10 points in the paint for Notre Dame. 2 free throws, so their other shot attempt that does not go down officially came from right around the rim. They've gotten whatever they wanted. For Western Kentucky, they have to limit turnovers.
Yes.
They have turned it over already 4 times and allowed 6 points to come off those turnovers, and that always does lead to those breakouts.
I love to watch the body language of players, and they just look really frustrated right now with that zone of the Irish, and the Irish are able to break out of this zone so well.
There's the first shot outside of the paint today as Agumbawale misses. Shepard gets the rebound, and she's fouled.
And, you know, you're saying, hey, we got to stop. No, we didn't. We didn't screen out.
And that's something that Western Kentucky needs just to get some belief in their system right now. Is they need to get true stop and get the ball back going the other way. Oh, off the inbound set, Shepard gets in loose, and it just would not go, but she'll get a couple of free throws.
Yeah, if you're a coach right now, you're just saying, we got to stop the bleeding here. You know, we've got to get stops. We've got to try to get things going. Use this out-of-bounds play here. Just a slip screen. Just a slip screen. And they didn't react to it. Irish had a great look.
Well, we talked to head coach Greg Collins and the coaching staff before this. They have played some good teams so far this year. They played against Louisville, Iowa, and Oregon State, all teams in the top 15. So playing Notre Dame should not be something that intimidates them, but at least so far early in this one, they've just not been able to find their footing.
Absolutely. You know, it's different coming in and playing against the defending national champion.
Aram Niang will try a 3 from straight away, and she knocks it down.
Well, they've had 2 open threes, and they've hit them. And so, that's an encouragement for the coaching staff is that they've had open looks, and they've just got to knock them in.
Niang came in just 4 of 16 from 3, just a 25% three-point shooter.
Yeah.
But there was no hesitation on that try.
Absolutely. Just a great pass to the top. She's wide open. She's let it fly. She's got great follow through, great arch, and nothing but net.
Brianna Turner was fouled on the other end, so she'll get a couple of free throws, makes the first. El Jadawi will come back in. Jaleesa Allen steps out.
And yeah, this is as a coach, a visiting coach, you just don't want to get off to a bad start. You want to get off to a solid start, get some confidence, get some momentum, and that really hasn't happened in the first part of this quarter.
No, Western Kentucky, if they can find a way to get some open looks from 3, they shoot it pretty well, 37% as a team, and then Givens, who we focused on in the open, a 43% three-point shooter. I think they're looking for ways to get her open, to get some clean looks from the outside. That's the one way they can maybe beat this zone.
The way you do that is get the ball inside and then back out. Inside, the ball's got to get inside.
Alexis Brewer tries one from way beyond the three-point line. Offensive rebound try wouldn't go from Givens. Third crack at it inside by El Jadawi.
And here we go.
And again, quickly, Notre Dame, the mission is simple. They want to get out and run. Clean look for Mabry.
Just a great find off the penetration and kick. Again, there's just been no answer for the transition. Not a layup that time, but a deadly 3.
And Marina Mabry missed the first 5 games of this season with an injury. She's now back in the lineup, running that point guard position, and they have loved to have her back in action. And she's got the ball again. Finds fellow senior Agumbawale, and she's fouled.
Yeah, one of your things you're seeing is just a great outlet to half-court outlet, then one quick pass, spot up 3, basket. Again, the outlet was the key. The outlet covered the whole half court, and then you just have to make a little bounce pass and a 3, and it's a bucket.
Well, you saw Agumbawale, too, was the one that made that pass. She is so well known for her scoring. But again, when we were talking with Muff McGraw earlier in the week, she said one of her best attributes is that when she gets out in transition, she's a very willing and able passer.
Yes, she's a great athlete. She sees the floor extremely well, and she finds the open person.
Averaging just under 4 assists per game, too. And again, for someone averaging 23 points a game, you usually don't look at that assist category. But to her credit, she's gotten her teammates involved maybe a little bit more than people would expect this point in the season.
And, that's why she's All-American. That's why she's one of the best players in the country. She can do it all, offensively and defensively and distributing the basketball.
Yeah, picked up her 2,000th career point in her last game against Binghamton. That was a 103-53 win over the Bearcats, and so far things going the way for Notre Dame right now.
Yeah, so I'm Coach McGraw. I'm going to stay in that 2-3 matchup. They really have not had a solid answer for it right now. They're not getting really good shots. They've only had 2 open looks. They've hit those, but they've also turned the ball over a lot.
Now, right now you look at the stat sheet. Notre Dame is 6 for 7.
On that miss, they got the offensive rebound.
Here's Jordan Nixon, freshman point guard who missed a few games with a concussion. Good to see her back on the floor. We have a whistle underneath is going to go against Notre Dame. Nixon, talented player. They want to work into this rotation.
Absolutely. She's got to be able to play quality minutes for the Irish, and I think this is a great game for her to kind of get established as you get closer and closer to the conference play. She's got to be able to give quality minutes as she gets in the game.
So Notre Dame team, of course, last year in their Final Four run, played a very limited lineup of 5, 6, 7 players at most during that stretch. Of course, they battled the injuries last year. And we saw them play UConn earlier this year. They really shortened that rotation, but players like Jordan Nixon, Michaela Vaughn, who's on the floor right now, they're hoping that players like that can give them some good quality minutes as they approach conference play.
And you're looking for them to come in and not make just silly mistakes, just play solid at both ends of the floor.
Now the zone defense working well right now for Notre Dame. They force another miss. Now 2 for 14 are the Lady Toppers. There's a good pass from Agumbawale to Nixon, but she's blocked from behind by Adeljawi.
Pushing the ball here.
That one's tapped out of play. El Jadawi has been fearless inside. Hasn't had her way quite yet, but good block by her running back against Nixon.
Great defensive play, giving them an opportunity to get the ball here out of bounds. See what types of things they're going to run here against the Irish zone.
Sydney Bopp is in the game. She'll inbound, and she'll get it out to Givens. Only 2 baskets so far for Western Kentucky. They were both threes. One came from Givens. And she has it out front with 15 to shoot. Inside it goes to El Jadawi. She's bumped.
As you look what they're doing defensively, they are trying to find Givens, and Givens is being guarded well by the Irish. They know where she is, every place on the floor. She's only had one good look.
You think they had the scouting report on
Yes.
who to look for on the perimeter?
Absolutely.
Givens, very capable shooter, and Notre Dame's done well in that zone coming out to guard her. They try to get one in deep, and it's off the hands of Niang, and it'll go back to Notre Dame.
Coach Cunningham had this scout, and she did a great job of preparing. They know the people that they've got to stop, and, you know, scouting reports are very valuable. It gives the players the keys on who to stop, who to guard, who to score off of.
Well, especially when you consider Notre Dame played on Sunday. How important is that? You only have 2 days to prepare. Somebody's got to be looking ahead so that when you only have 2 days to come back, you're prepared and ready to go.
So the way that works, each coach has a scout that they're in charge of, and so they're always looking ahead. They're just not looking at this game. They're also got to prepare for the next game.
How many games ahead do you usually have an assistant coach?
Probably 3 or 4. 3 or 4. They're looking at trying to find at least 4 games, the last 4 games the coaches are looking at.
El Jadawi gets loose inside. That's the first basket that's come inside the arc for Western Kentucky. 1 minute left here in the opening quarter between Notre Dame and the Lady Toppers. Tony Simeone with the coach Mike Lightfoot as Notre Dame number 2 in the country, working on a 9-1 record this year. Jackie Young too strong on the jump shot. It's tapped out of play, and it'll stay with Notre Dame and a fresh shot clock.
She had a great look, pull-up, jump shot, just didn't drop. Got the ball underneath the basket here. Let's see if they try another slip screen look.
And we saw a pretty easy basket on an inbound set earlier in this one. Jordan Nixon will inbound again. Fresh clock for the Irish, a full 30. And they turn it over. Taken away by Givens. See if Western Kentucky can get out and run. And again, Turner, fresh off the bench, picks up her 3rd block of the game.
She has really established herself as a great defender, and tonight it's been just attack and block, send those into the stands.
For Notre Dame as a team, that is their 4th block of the night.
That sends a message to anybody driving to the basket, too. That's in the back of everybody's mind is, wow, if I take it to the rim, I'm in trouble.
Already 4 blocks for a Notre Dame team that averages 4.5 blocks per game, and Turner may have gotten a piece of that one. That could be her 4th as Nixon has it. Out in transition, Michaela Vaughn to the rim. Oh, and Western Kentucky turned it over, coming across half court. Shot clock is off. That's got to frustrate you as a coach.
Unforced errors. You know, they've had a number of turnovers as you look at Western Kentucky, but you don't want to turn it over with an unforced error. Irish will go for 1 shot.
And you saw Greg Collins in his first season at the helm, 6 seasons as an assistant. Not the start he wanted in this one.
Ball screen high.
Gumbwale gets free and goes all the way to the rim. And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. Notre Dame playing some outstanding basketball. They shot 67% in the opening quarter. Brianna Turner added 3 blocks, and Marina Mabry knock it down to 3. All Irish after 1. Notre Dame off to a great start in this one. They've got a 15-point lead after 1 quarter of play. A big reason why Coach Brianna Turner.
Oh, my word. She has just been outstanding. She's a rim protector, you know, and that just helps the defense when she can get out here and block those shots. It also sends a message to the opponents, don't come into my house.
Well, Turner last year was supposed to play her senior season. She missed the year with an ACL injury. They're so excited to have her back. She already has 3 blocks tonight. On her career, she averages 1.7 blocks per game, which is 5th in the ACC, but she is 2nd all-time in Notre Dame history with 280 blocks coming into tonight's game. The only player she trails, Ruth Riley, who had 370. That's pretty good company for Brianna Turner.
And I see her starting to get a flow of her game where she really feels comfortable. You know, once you have a knee surgery, coming off of that, it takes a while to kind of get back into the groove. And she's starting to move better. She's starting to feel the game a lot better, and you can just tell it by how her timing and blocking shots.
And she's battled injuries throughout her career. Was dealing with a shoulder issue in her first couple of seasons. Then, of course, after that gets sorted out, you get the knee issue.
Yes.
And as you said, when you're battling injuries, it's not always the physical part. It's sometimes the mental part.
Yes. You know, is that knee okay? Is everything all right? You know, do I feel confident what I'm doing? And I can just see her now playing a lot more confident than she was 3 weeks ago.
She's so good defensively. Offensively, at times, she might require some help offensively. She needs someone to initiate for her. But she's looked very good tonight.
Yes.
And defensively is where she has her biggest impact. 2-time ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Notre Dame thrilled to have her back in the lineup here. Shot clock winding down for Western Kentucky. They throw it out of play, and that for them is their 9th turnover in this one.
And so they're trying to mix things up as Coach was trying to do. Now they're going to a 2-2-1, trying to slow the Irish down with a token press.
Gumbawale doesn't hesitate and gets it to go. She went right down the floor.
Oh, and again, it was just going right to the rim, strong, and a great finish, as you'd expect from an All-American.
Western Kentucky just has 3 baskets in this one. They are 3 for their first 18. And again, that's now turnover number 10. Gumbawale in transition, Euro steps, can't get it to go. And now a foul.
Wow, just a great presence to be able to attack, go underneath, try to look for the opportunity to finish. She's just got that great touch of being able to get to the paint, pull up, and knock in that shot. I think it's her best part of her game.
We even saw that last time down the floor, too. She put so much pressure on you defensively.
It's like LeBron James coming down the floor. I mean, how are you going to stop her?
She is one of the best players in the country. Proved it last year in that Final Four with those performances as Mabry has a clean look at 3.
Oh, great ball movement there. Inside, outside, great touches. The Irish are playing on all cylinders right now.
Well, Mabry, probably the best shooter on this team. Came in shooting just 34.5% from 3. But so far today, she's made both three-point looks she's had. And again, just her 6th game back after an injury that held her out of the first 5.
Oh, that'd be great.
As Sherry Porter gets the nice basket there. And again, Western Kentucky's had trouble to figure out the zone. That time they found a way to probe inside, and they got a basket out of it.
Let's see how they handle this pressure.
Well, it results in a wide-open Mabry 3.
Wow, great attacking the 2-2-1. Great looks, great confidence.
Well, Coach, we talked about it between the quarters. This Western Kentucky team has had trouble getting back on Diaz. This 3 is up and off the iron from Alexis Brewer, but extending that press, it almost seems like they're taking themselves out of the play a little bit.
I would totally agree with that. It's almost exposing that defense. As you look at the movement where they're getting the ball inside out, great passing, great cuts, finding the open person, knocking in the shot. And, you know, that results in points, and there you go. Great look, great score.
Mabry's already hit a couple of 3s here in this quarter. That's the 2nd one. So
Yes.
for her, that's 3 in the game. She now has 11 points to lead the Irish here early.
I feel that she's playing with a lot more confidence, and she's getting into the flow of the game after missing so many games early.
Now, slowly but surely, this Notre Dame team rounding into form. As you mentioned, getting healthy. Freshman Jordan Nixon has it, goes inside to Turner, batted away into the hands of Givens.
Notice she did not attack the rim.
Might have had something to do with 11 and white bearing down on her. As Porter works out front, driving on Young. Jackie Young gets the block. Well, this Notre Dame team has 5 blocks already. They've exceeded their season average in a quarter and 3 minutes. Nixon all the way, offensive foul.
Great defensive stop there. I mean, they got in great position, held their position. As you can see here, got set, took the charge. Coach wants to see those things happen more if you're looking at Western Kentucky on the defensive end.
Western Kentucky now shooting 19%, 4 of 21. For perspective, Notre Dame shooting 69%, 11 of their first 16. They've made all 3 of their 3s, and they've all come from Marina Mabry here.
And the Irish have switched back and went man-to-man here.
The zone has worked well. See how they work in a matchup situation here. As Creech gives it up, outside it goes. Long 3 from Alexis Brewer. Does not drop. It's tapped out, and it'll stay with Western Kentucky here.
That looked like it could have went either way there. Western Kentucky gets the call.
They get it into Givens. She kills the dribble, then floats it up with her left. Would not go, and right there's Jessica Shepard to pull it down. Here's Mabry. Puts it on the deck, takes it inside, and she'll draw a foul.
Again, they have just been relentless at attacking her rim, and they're just doing it one time after another time after another time. There just doesn't seem to be any answer for Western Kentucky right now.
Well, Muffin McGraw expects excellence from this team, and she has to like what she's seen. I'm sure, and you know this as a coach, she'll find something that they've not been doing well. Like they've turned the ball over 8 times. It's probably what she's going to harp on, but the way they've gotten out in transition, I think she's going to be happy with that.
You know, there's a lot of pressure on this team. When you win a national championship, expectations just continue to build, and that's on the players and the staff. And so I see the Irish team a lot more relaxed now after they got punched by UConn.
Yeah, that was an 18-point loss against UConn. We talked to Coach McGraw earlier about what it's like to defend a national championship. I know you defended quite a few. This is Muffin McGraw's second time defending a national championship, but she said the same thing you did. It's expectations that can kind of maybe at times take the joy out of things as Wale gets the basket. How tough is it to get a team to get back up for another season?
I think the thing that you're trying to do is you create more fun in practice. You've got to do different things in practice because they know exactly what the expectations are going to be in March and April. So you got to try to make it fun, but also try to make sure that the players are getting better.
And it's rare. You look at the floor right now. These are 5 players that were all on the team last year. The only player that didn't play was Turner, who picks up the rebound right there. But she, of course, a senior, was with them the whole way. So it's not as if they're having to reload it all. They've got players that have done it. They're all coming back. So if you had a team that lost a bunch of national champs, it might be a different vibe, but it's everyone in the room is trying to defend a title and repeat.
But if you look at any professional sport, if you're looking at football or professional basketball, it's always been tough for those teams to repeat because the edge, just making sure that the players have that edge to be ready to take on all challenges.
And again, any game in December, as you're getting ready for conference play compared to what they were doing in late March and April last year, the intensity level, it's just impossible to replicate this time of year.
And they've been there. They've all been there before, which is another issue. It's both good and bad as a coach where you got to keep them fresh.
Yeah, good problem to have. I'm sure every coach in the country would like to have that problem.
Oh, I think there'd be over 350 schools who would say, I'd love to have this problem.
Could take that time as Alexis Brewer took it right at Brianna Turner. Was not fazed by the leading shot blocker tonight. Jackie Young works her way in. Good floater from Young.
Is she just amazing, just attacking the basket, playing with so much confidence. You know, you can just see it as she plays, how she carries herself. She knows exactly what she wants to accomplish.
Quiet night so far for her, just 4 points. As a good running left-handed shot by Whitney Creech goes down.
Well, she's been able to get everybody else in the game. Plus, she didn't have a lot of touches because it just advanced the ball and get layups.
Now, Creech had a talented high school career, very accomplished.
Goodness.
You want to tell the people what you
did? 5,000 career points. The most points by any basketball player in the state of Indiana ever.
State of Kentucky.
Yeah. But 51 points she averaged her senior year, this lady with the ball right now.
Yeah, that is some kind of number. 51 points a game. I didn't know there were enough minutes in a game to get that done. She steps into a 15-footer here, not shy to put it up. Came up short that time, and again, what else? Notre Dame wants to run. Agumbawale gives it off to Shepard.
It's a layup drill right now. It's a layup drill. They're really struggling getting back. The Irish are beating them on the pass and off the dribble.
Western Kentucky has just not been able to get back in transition well enough.
No.
That's now 15 points off of turnovers for the Irish. They have a 41-14 lead as we tick down towards 3 minutes left to play. And another steal. That time Turner takes it away. And without hesitation, here comes Agumbawale.
Yeah, you know, the thing about it, you're trying to look as a coach, what can you do? There's really no answers for the talented team that they're going against. The Irish are just too good in every position. But you do have to make adjustments, and the Western Kentucky's got to get the ball, in the hands of the shooters more, and they got to just take care of the ball because it's layup.
Wow. Out in transition again. The lead has ballooned to 31 points. 3 Irish players now in double figures, and they're being led by Marina Mabry, who's made all 5 of her shots. 15 points for her, and the Irish are rolling.
Well, one of the things you can learn is from a coach who's almost got 900 wins is great out-of-bounds plays. And so if you watch here, the Irish do a great job getting the ball inbounds. And again, the key is trying to get the ball to your high post player. Here's a great pass inside, then outside to the elbow area, a freeze, a look inside, and that's going to open up the outside, and that's going to open up a three. Just a great execution of inside out. That's why Coach McGraw has nearly 900 wins.
Yeah, one of the best coaches in all of college athletics.
Yes.
I think you have to simplify it to college basketball, women's college basketball. One of the best coaches at the college level in any sport.
Yep.
Closing in on 900 career wins. 897, as you mentioned, and that was just another great example of a good inbound set that worked wonders against the zone. You see so many teams run zone against inbound sets. As the shot clock's winding down here, Givens will drive it in. She got it off the rim, so a second chance now, and that'll result in free throws coming from Alexis Brewer.
Again, the Irish defense has really been focused on Givens, and you can just tell that she is frustrated because she's not getting the normal look she's used to.
Yeah, she's just 1 of 6 tonight. Brewer will get some free throws here. These are the first free throws of the game for Western Kentucky. Notre Dame has shot 10 free throws tonight.
Well, again, as a coach, you're looking at that. Can we get to the free throw line? Well, you're not going to get to the free throw line if you turn the ball over. And I'm sure that's a thing that coach is going to talk about at halftime. We've got to take care of the ball, ladies. It's hard to defend turnovers, and so you've got to be able to take care of the ball, stop the Irish on the run if you take care of the ball and make them play some defense.
And Notre Dame was playing zone for a good portion of that first quarter.
Yes.
And Western Kentucky was settling for a lot of threes. 10 of their 29 attempts have come from three. They're shooting just 21% from the field.
Not what Coach Collins drew up for this ball game. He was really excited about this game. He felt that they had played a great schedule going in. He knew this was going to be a challenge.
Oh, Danielle Patterson, haven't seen her in a while. She's been battling an injury, and she's back on the floor here and gets a quick basket.
Another great execution out of bounds play.
And a travel. El Jadawi dragged the pivot foot that time.
You can just see the length of the Irish on the defensive end. It's really creating those things. She's just so long, and she's just the presence she has.
Here's Jackie Young, and she gets the soft touch. Notre Dame shooting at an impressive clip right now. They've only missed 5 shots from the floor. They're 19 for 24, shooting 79% here in the opening half.
And I have not counted one contested shot where all the Notre Dame shots have been contested but 2.
This one's tied up underneath between Patterson and El Jadawi.
They've made it so difficult for Western Kentucky because all the shots have been contested except those 2 threes that we saw early.
18 fast break points for Notre Dame. 19 points have come off turnovers. 30 have come in the painted area.
Yeah.
And you think about the ones that have come outside of that, they've been all Marina Mabry threes. She still hasn't missed. And she's on the bench right now. Abby Prohaska's in the game, another talented freshman for Notre Dame, as they go to work against this zone. Turner works her way in, and she converts. 20 for 25 as a team now.
Wow. I don't know if this has ever happened like this percentage before, but it's just outstanding. It doesn't matter who the Irish bring in. It's just great execution at the offensive end.
They are really scoring baskets at will in this one.
And one of the things that you can't forget is the great defense the Irish are playing also. And that's created the block shots, the forced turnovers have created these easy offensive opportunities.
Well, I'll tell you this, Coach. I know you said you were curious as to whether or not this had happened before. The last time Notre Dame shot 70% in a half actually was last season against Georgia Tech. They shot 70%. We'll have to dig into the archives to see, depending on where they end up in this half, to see if they've ever been at 80% as Turner has her 4th block.
Oh my, is she feeling it? She's just got great timing. Great timing. Block shots are unique because many people foul, but she has been able to find the ball and block it and send a message. Don't go in here.
Also has 5 rebounds tonight. Was averaging just 1.7 blocks coming in. Again, that was 5th in the ACC. She's going to bring that average way up after tonight's game.
Way up.
15-second differential and another travel call against El Jadawi.
It's got to be really frustrating for Coach. There's really nothing positive happening in this half, and so you got to go in the locker room and say, hey, we got to regroup, we got to forget about the score, and we got to get ready to get better because their conference play is going to be starting soon.
Well, Notre Dame can hold for the final shot here should they choose.
Looks like a high ball screen.
Ogunbowale elects to not use it, and she banks it in. See if Western Kentucky can get one final.
To this table while you're still talking and say, hey, this is our starting lineup for the second half. I've never seen that in my 30-plus years of coaching.
I have never seen that. Early turnover right away into the hands of Marina Mabry. Did not miss a shot in the first half, and a basket for Young to lead off the second period. Wow.
It could be a meltdown situation right now. You know, you're really struggling. You get out here late. You turn the ball over. Not one of these ladies had a chance to even get their hands on the leather of the basketball to warm up for the second half. So it'll take a little time, I think, before they can get established back on the.
Did you ever bring a team out onto the floor that didn't get a chance to warm up even that far? I mean, I'm sure there was plenty to say in the locker room at halftime, but to your point's a great one. They did not touch a basketball for the last 15 minutes.
And I think that every athlete is used to some type of, routine, and they were out of the routine completely. We'll see if they can kind of turn it around here.
No, they got one basket, tried another from the corner. That was out of the hands of Meryl Abdelgawad. And then there's Ogunbowale. She gets fouled. She'll get a couple of free throws.
Yeah, just the body language of the entire team right here. They're just really struggling. It'll be interesting to see when Coach gets his starters back in the game.
Yeah, now he's rolling with the players that ended the second quarter. And again, it's worth mentioning they've played good competition. They lost to Louisville by just 20. Iowa beat them pretty well by 35-plus in that one. But they played Oregon State in the same tournament in Vancouver that Notre Dame won. Notre Dame, the champion of that tournament up in Vancouver, beat Oregon State in the final. They only lost to Oregon State by 14. So it's a team that's played good competition. They've competed with the good competition. And tonight, just uncharacteristic from them.
Yes, and this is just something that's a growing pains for, your team. And as a staff, you're still trying to figure out things. And to come into a place where you're playing a defending national champion, it's just really tough. And you can just see the Irish is all shoulders right now.
Oh, great transition basketball. It's what we've seen all night from this team, and that was it to perfection.
It's just fun to watch. It's just fun to watch the Irish play with confidence, and they're so unselfish. They make great decisions.
Nothing going down right now as Sherry Porter tried one. There's an offensive rebound and a travel before the basket goes.
Yes.
Everything coming up Irish right now for Notre Dame.
It really is. And, like every button the coaches try don't work for Western Kentucky. I've been there as a coach. It's frustrating. Every button that the Irish push is working to perfection.
So Jordan Nixon comes into the game. Talented freshman point guard.
High-low look.
And again, work to perfection. Well, this is something else, Coach. We, again, talked about it at halftime. The 81% on 21 of 26 shooting in the first half was the third best number in any half in program history and the best in the last 28 years. Notre Dame has come out here and made their first 3 baskets in this half.
I need to get my calculator.
Well, the good thing is the stat monitor does a lot of the math for you.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing the looks that they've had and knocking them in also, but they're having fun.
24 of 29 from the floor right now is Notre Dame. Now up to 83% shooting in this one.
There's just no answers when you're looking at things to say positive about what has happened here with Western Kentucky. This is a program that has a lot of pride, a lot of tradition, and they've been very successful. They've won 20 games the last 6 years, but they have come out here very flat. You don't want to come out here and play flat against the Irish.
And it's a clinic right now for Notre Dame. 25 of 30. You look at the sheet right now. Marina Mabry is 5 for 5. Brianna Turner's 4 for 4. Jessica Shepard's 5 for 5. They have 3 players that have not missed a shot to this point in the game.
Yeah, they got an All-American out there who's missed 3 shots, and she's the only one that, has missed.
She's bringing down the percentage right now.
Yes, she is.
Ogunbowale, 5 for 8, has it right now, and she's out in transition again. Puts on the afterburners and leaves it short. Taken away by Whitney Creech. Back come the Lady Toppers the other way. They get it inside. Niang pivots, and she's blocked.
My goodness, have we seen a lot of block shots tonight.
That's the 8th for Notre Dame. Brianna Turner's been leading the charge in that category. That is her 4th block of the game. She'll take a quick seat.
Yes, you just see that the hands are on the basketball, just great anticipation, loud block shots, and that's been just a great combination for the Irish today. Block shots, transition.
Looked like Shepard actually may have gotten that one, and she has a couple of blocks tonight.
Yes.
She's chipped in defensively, not necessarily known for her defense, as Creech steps in and knocks down a 15-footer. Abby Prohaska in on the game as she comes on for the first time here in the second half. Works with fellow freshman Jordan Nixon out high. Here's Mabry. Hasn't missed tonight. That's her first one that comes up a little bit too strong.
It'll be interesting to see how Coach McGraw and the staff really handles things with substitutions when you have such a big lead. You know, you want to get more people in the game, try to get some experience, but at the same time, you don't want to lose this great vibe that they got of playing well with confidence. It's carried over the last two games.
That time, Jordan Nixon threw it out of bounds. To the dismay of Muffet McGraw, I think what everyone agrees on with her is that despite the success of this team, whether it be when you look at it from the 30,000-foot view over the course of her 32 seasons here, or in an instant like that, she expects excellence.
Yes.
They're up by 42 points, and she was very, what would you say, disappointed in her freshman guard there?
Exactly, but you know what? That's great. I think that's exactly what makes her successful is the command of saying, we're going to play not against the scoreboard, not against the team that's red. We're playing against ourselves. We need to get better at everything we do.
Another takeaway. Here's Mabry. And she's blocked. Niang able to say no. So after Notre Dame made their 25 of their first 30, they've missed their last 3 now. To Western Kentucky's credit, they've played some decent defense here. Another block as Prohaska tried to tee one up and Givens closed out well.
Well, we're just seeing, opportunities where it's a pride factor now. Yep. You know, you've got to come out there and play with pride. They're a program that's been so successful. You got to go out there and represent your program.
Here's Shepard out front, drives it in. And it's taken away by Creech. Back comes Western Kentucky all the way in. Offensive foul is called.
Again, just a great opportunity to get in the paint, get set, and the freshman takes it hard to the rim. Great charge taken.
Yeah, that's Abby Prohaska stepping in and taking one on the chest.
Yes, I like her DNA. I think that she plays with a lot of fire and a lot of passion. She'll fit in well with the rest of this Irish team.
There she is, sneaking behind the defense. Finds Marina Mabry, who again has not missed a 3 tonight. That's her 4th on the game. Now, when she's hitting threes, Coach, it is a whole new dynamic for this team because everyone has to respect it so much.
And that's something that the Irish really have not had consistently, a three-point shooting, but boy, they have had tonight. That's a great sign for all the Irish fans that are watching this ball game.
That one's through the hands of Michaela Vaughn. I think I have a hunch as to what Muffet McGraw will focus on after this game. It's turnovers. That's the 13th for the Irish.
Been a little sloppy on the offensive end of the turnover. Not the shooting, but the turnovers.
They only turn it over 13 times a game on the season, so they're above their average despite the dominant performance overall. They've turned it over now another time. So they've exceeded their season average already. Givens will slow things down and reset here. Terry Smith is in the game. Gets it across to Alexis Brewer for 3.
This is a very difficult time for bench players that need to play but haven't had the opportunity to play. And you can just see they're struggling because they have not played this many minutes before.
Well, that'll take us to a timeout on the floor. Notre Dame has a 43-point lead. Brianna Turner back at her best, and Marina Mabry has not missed a 3 tonight. It's all Irish here from Purcell Pavilion. This is college basketball on the ACC Network Extra. The Leprechaun loving it tonight. Everybody at Purcell Pavilion enjoying what they're seeing, which is a 43-point lead for Notre Dame over Western Kentucky. Tony Simeone with the coach Mike Lightfoot. Also worth mentioning, ACC Network coming to your TV in the fall. You're going to see a lot of sports, whether it be basketball, all kinds of Olympic sports action, and football as well I know everybody around the conference excited for the ACC network to be available on television in about 8 months, Coach.
And they should be. They should be, because just think of all the great sports that are going to be highlighted, the great athletes that come out through the ACC. It's been a long time coming, but it's going to be a great addition for the viewership of college basketball.
Everybody
and college
knows.
sports.
Everybody knows that both basketball, football, very competitive at the ACC level. But then you think about soccer. Some of the other sports in the conference are some of the best in the country. It's going to be a great chance for everybody to see some of the best college teams in all of college athletics,
and some of the best college coaches at all levels in every sport. It's just going to be an amazing opportunity for people to watch great ACC play.
I like that you pointed that out. That's a good coaching perspective. There are so many talented coaches.
At every sport.
Yes.
At every sport. I mean, soccer, football, baseball, just then you go basketball, men and women's basketball.
Well,
it just never ends.
That was a Hall of Famer you had on your screen right there, too.
Oh, my goodness. And there's a lot of them in the ACC.
You got Roy Williams, you got Mike Krzyzewski, you got Muffet McGraw, all ACC Hall of Fame basketball coaches. And again, we've mentioned it a couple times tonight, as that's a good basket inside by Raneem El-Jadawi. But Muffet McGraw going into the Naismith Hall of Fame last season, that was a huge landmark moment for her career and this program, and then to win the national championship after it.
Yes.
It's been an amazing, really, 18 months for her.
Well, and not only, I think, for women's athletics.
Sure.
She is the pillar now when you think of coaches in women athletics. She's just been outstanding. And so when you think of women's athletics now, I think that you identify with Coach McGraw.
And the fact that she went into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Didn't have to be a women's basketball Hall of Fame. Don't have to make any delineation with her. One of the best basketball coaches
ever.
Full stop.
Ever. You know, and again, that she deserves it.
And again, 897 career wins for Muffet McGraw as Jackie Young takes it to the end
that's
line.
almost, I mean, you just have to start thinking that. You have to put the numbers together. That's, 30-plus years of 25 wins.
Yeah. You didn't want to bring your calculator, but your mental math is on point there. 30 times 30 is 900, right?
Yes.
So you have to be above that number. She's in season 32, so nearly above 30 per season. And like clockwork, every year it seems to be they're approaching that 30-win mark.
And that everybody that the Irish play, there's a big target on their back. There's a big circle on that calendar knowing that, hey, we're going to come in here, we're going to be playing the Irish. So you're going to get a lot of great looks, and you're playing in a conference that's second to none when it comes to women's basketball.
Now, good feed that time by Creech as, again, El-Jadawi gets loose inside. Yeah, you're right. You got Duke, Louisville that are always on the schedule, and they always schedule UConn, Tennessee, some great non-conference matchups. This year they played Oregon State. So it's not as if they're just waltzing to these 30-plus win seasons.
Yes, and that's the thing that makes them so strong is their non-conference play has been able to set the stage for they get ready for conference play. And just the confidence that the ladies play with becomes contagious to the next group that comes in.
Well, and one of the reasons they're able to win so consistently is they always bring in talented freshmen, too.
Yes, they do. And that was just a great example, a great inside-out look, a great knock-in. I really feel that she's going to have a great career. She's just going to get her time as it goes through. Right now, she's got a lot of veterans in front of her. But as she gets ready and more confident, she's going to have some big minutes played in the conference this year.
Well, you obviously don't want to look past this season because I think for Notre Dame it's a season they think where they can go and repeat as national champs as El-Jadawi gets fouled and she'll get a couple of free throws. But there's a chance really that the starting lineup in most of these games will just be gone next year.
Yes.
They basically play 5 seniors at the top of every game. So there's some interest in what's going to come back next year. Obviously Jackie Young, but you said right there, Nixon's going to have a bigger role. Caitlin Gilbert, who's been hurt and is out for the year, will come back. They're excited about some of the pieces. Obviously Danielle Patterson. It's a team that always has talented young players that are ready to fill those slots.
And that's going to be a thing. But the unusual thing about the next group coming in, they're going to be a lot younger as a team. Coach Bray on his side always talks they want to grow old and stay old, and that's going to be the challenge because they're going to have a lot of young people next year. They're going to have to play key roles.
Here is Nixon as she comes down. Oh, we have an injury behind the play. El-Jadawi is slow to get up.
Trainers are on that. I did not get a look at that. Play was advanced going down the floor, but looks like a knee or an ankle, and that's always a difficult thing when you see an athlete go down and start holding their knee or ankle.
That is unfortunate. El-Jadawi really struggling right now. unable to get up onto her own power. Good work by the officials to catch that behind the play.
It really was because, there was no advantage there. They just stopped the play, make sure that the safety of the athletes is most important.
Now, let's see it right here. Oh, yeah, you could see it. She just rolled over that right ankle.
She sure did. And, that's something that every athlete's experienced, that sprain, and there's nothing like it. You feel like you've just been, shot with the pain that comes out of that ankle. And, you just wonder, how long they're going to be till they get back. And his coach is looking down at her right now. He's like, is there anything else that can go wrong tonight?
Yeah. That has to be disappointing for Western Kentucky. Again, El Jadawi, the talented sophomore out of Alexandria, Egypt. She, along with Meryl Abdelgawad, 2 Egyptians on this team, and they've been very useful for this team this year. They're 2 of their starters that play big minutes.
And, Coach has a contact there. I think Coach Collins knows some people overseas, so that's just going to be a venue for him to do more recruiting. The Irish turned it over again. I think Coach McGraw is not happy with that.
Yeah, plenty for the review in the next couple of days before Marquette as it relates to turnovers. Niang tried to get it back outside. It's tapped away. Givens diving to the floor, and it's a tie ball.
Just love the Irish hustle. And, when you look at the scoreboard, it's 27-72. You could say, hey, we're going to just let them have the ball. But when the ball was loose, Irish players are on the floor.
Danielle Patterson back on the floor. Also, Danielle Cosgrove, freshman that hasn't seen a ton of minutes but has shown an ability to shoot the ball when she's coming on the floor. They're out there. If you look at it right now, you've got a sophomore, 3 freshmen, and the senior Marina Mabry.
And I like the idea that they leave the senior in the game.
Yep.
Get the underclassmen where they need to be. Plus, I think she still needs to get minutes because she's starting to feel her way back.
Yeah, again, Mabry missed the first 5 games. What a pass inside to Cosgrove.
A no-look pass. She is feeling more comfortable with her physical condition and her timing.
Well, that's really an element of Marina Mabry's game that she may not have had in her first 2 seasons here. When there were other point guards, Lindsay Allen was running the show for so many years here for Notre Dame. Mabry was thrust into that point guard position halfway through last season with some of those injuries. And her ball handling, her passing's gotten better as Givens knocks down a 3.
Again, her senior leadership's also very important. As you can just see her, she can attack the basket, get people in the right position. It's just been great execution as they go down probably for 1 shot here.
Yeah, shot clock and game clock matched up, and that's another turnover.
Again, as you attack the basket, look at that no-look pass, just unselfish. She could have been a senior and said, you know what, I'm going to go for it, but she made a great no-look pass and a great decision.
And again, getting a freshman, Danielle Cosgrove, involved. You're right, I like the idea. Bringing the young guys out, but leave one veteran there to bring them along. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Mabry gets the block at the end of the quarter. Now, Marina Mabry has been doing it all tonight for Notre Dame. She leads them with 18 points, has also chipped in with 3 assists, and a big reason why Notre Dame has a 44-point lead after 3 quarters of play. Notre Dame has a commanding 44-point lead after 3 quarters of play. Tony Simeone with the coach Mike Lightfoot. You see what's coming up. Conference play at the turn of the calendar new year in 2019. And you see what the ACC has to offer. Some really tough tests coming for Notre Dame when they get into that conference portion of the season.
We're talking about how the ACC is loaded with great coaches, and they're also loaded with great teams. So, the Irish know that it's going to be a challenge. It always is in ACC play. Plus, there's tough venues to play in. Even the unranked teams are going to come in and play great against the Irish.
Well, the game I think everyone's excited for. You saw there Louisville, number 3 right now. Notre Dame will play Louisville on January 10th. That's a game that'll be here in Purcell Pavilion. It'll be on ESPN.
It'll be electric.
I mean, last year Louisville dominated Notre Dame on the road as Shepard gets to the basket. That's 6 for 6 tonight for Jessica Shepard. Keep an eye on that. She's now made her last 15 consecutive field goals. The school record all-time is 17 in a row. Corey Poore back in 1994 is the holder of that record. We'll keep an eye on 32 and White as she possibly has a chance to go for history. But I'm going to be interested to see that Louisville matchup, Coach, because Louisville dominated them at Louisville last year. Then they beat them in the ACC championship game. But ultimately, Notre Dame got that national championship, but they kind of had the last laugh.
You look at that schedule, there's going to be that January 10th game. You can't overlook anybody else,
Sure.
but that January 10th game is going to be so key for both teams, and they have a lot of experience coming back.
You said don't overlook anybody. Marquette's the next one. That's a top 20 matchup.
Yes.
And they're on the road. Saturday is going to be a great test for this team.
I know it. I think that's something that Coach McGraw is looking at, as we watch this last quarter. She'll want to get some other people in because she's going against a ranked team on the road just in here a couple days.
Marquette last year came into Purcell Pavilion and took Notre Dame to overtime last year.
Yes.
They pushed them.
And they're going to be the same way this year, and they're going to be playing on their home court.
And they're going to be licking their chops on Saturday. Another crack at the now defending national champs.
And, you're just going to get everybody's best shot. And the Irish football team knows that. They talk about that. And here's what you see here is the Notre Dame women's basketball team. Everybody's going to play at their best, especially on their home floor.
It's interesting. Muffet McGraw came back with the starters for the first 2 minutes there of the fourth quarter. Now she goes back to the bench to get the reserves back on the floor. You mentioned in the third they had them all play with Marina Mabry.
Yep.
This time they all play with Arike Agumbawale.
I just think that's just a great decision to have one stable person out there that's going to look at it. She is directing traffic, getting the freshmen in the right place, making sure that they understand what they're trying to run offensively.
This is as much getting them ready for conference play as it is just down the road, maybe season from now when they don't have these seniors on the roster.
Well, as a coach, I look at for giving them quality minutes here also gets them better for practice. So they're going to be able to practice better and push the upperclassmen.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of factors that go into these minutes where you're trying to get everybody to be better. And the best way you can do that is just get them out on the floor.
Well, I imagine, too, Coach, you might have more insight to this. I'm sure you do, but I doubt this five-person unit has played a lot in practice either.
No.
So it's the first time they've gone with each other, and it's a chance for them to get some run and work out some of the kinks they might have.
Absolutely. They have not been able to be together probably since October. They've never been together. So this is a new experience for them, but it's a great experience for them. These minutes are vital. This is not mop-up time. This is time to get better, and that's why Coach McGraw has got them in here to get better.
Sherry Porter traveled before she got the shot off. That's the 20th turnover for Western Kentucky. Notre Dame's turned it over 18 times. It's been a dominant Notre Dame performance, but to be blunt, it has not been the cleanest game on either side of the floor.
No, it hasn't. And, again, I think that this is always a concern for me as a head coach. When you're coaching in mid-December, Christmas break's coming up. They're coming off of finals. There's just a lot of things going on. They're out of the routine. Every athlete here loves the routine, and they're out of the routine. They're practicing at a different time. They're not going to class. It's just a tough time for basketball programs.
Danielle Cosgrove knocks down the three-pointer. Had a couple of threes in the 103-53 win over Binghamton on Sunday, as Abdelgawad knocks one down as well.
Yes, I'm happy. Really, they're starting to see Western Kentucky's players knock in some open shots that wasn't happening early.
Well, good to see them generate some momentum here. Obviously, this game out of hand at this point, but they've got to start building some momentum on their front as well.
Good hustle by both teams there.
Arike Agumbawale has it, working the end line, able to tiptoe the end line, and finally draws a foul.
It looked a little bit from the Globetrotters there for a while, where she was dribbling off herself, off their opponents, and still looking opportunities to get the basketball inside.
Well, you mentioned the Globetrotters. You're going to see some good footwork right here. Her former teammate from last year, Lily Thompson, now with the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yes, and there she's tiptoeing along the sidelines there.
I don't think she reestablished.
I don't think so either.
I will say our officiating crew tonight has been very good.
Yes.
Joe Vasili, Jenna Cross, and Jenna Schroeder all have worked very well out there.
But Joe, correct, you're talking to him before the game. He had the national championship game?
He did. He worked the national championship game. He said he had the best view in the house of that Arike Agumbawale game-winning shot that, of course, won Notre Dame the national championship.
And let's face it, the refereeing is a very difficult thing. I've been hard on referees my whole career, but it's a challenging profession where you're traveling a lot, you're working a lot of different games, and the best thing about officials if you don't notice them, and I haven't noticed them at all tonight, and that's just a good sign of great referees. They're not trying to showboat, they're not trying to dominate the game, they're just calling as they see it.
Cosgrove missed a three. Yeah, and one thing they helped us with when we came out in the third quarter,
yes,
Western Kentucky did not get their players on the floor before the first horn. Joe Vasili came over and told us exactly what had happened.
I just think the key for referees is being able to communicate. Yep. Communicate to the coaches, and in this case to us, to let us know what just happened there, because we didn't know exactly what was happening when the team came off the floor.
I imagine as a coach, the one thing you want, be able to approach the referee. Not feel like it always has to be an argument. It can be a dialogue as Nixon knocks down a three.
Yes, I think open dialogue. Let us know, explain what they saw, and allow us to explain what we saw.
So 86-41, Notre Dame right now shooting 72% from the floor as Sherry Porter sticks one from three.
Well, they're known as a high-octane offense. We have not seen that, and now we're just going to get a glimpse of it here and there.
Here's Givens.
She's had a rough night.
Yeah, she's averaging nearly 20 points a game on the season, and tonight just has 6, only 2 of 11 from the floor. Taken away by Cosgrove as we approach 4 minutes left to play. Nicole Benz is checked into the game. Also Maureen Butler waiting at the scorer's table, so always exciting when a couple of walk-ons get a chance to maybe enter the floor.
It'll be interesting to see how the Irish finish up here at their field goal percentage. That's really the only major question in doubt right now.
That basket won't count. It'll take us to our final timeout on the floor. Notre Dame in control of this one. Always a fun environment here at Purcell Pavilion, and in this last timeout, the chicken toss took over, and a great throw by that young man.
That was a great technique. I'm not sure, but that technique was the winner. And I don't know how many practice times you get throwing a chicken.
Did you go winner chicken dinner? Is that where you're going?
That's where I'm going with it.
I figured as much. Look at the number right there. That's important to focus on right now. Notre Dame shooting 72% tonight. This is an illustrious program with all kinds of history, 2 national championships, countless Final Fours. They've had some amazing players come through here, some amazing teams. They have never shot better than they have tonight. You saw the number there. 70.2 is the all-time record. It came against Mercer in 2011 when they were on that streak of consecutive Final Fours. They have a chance tonight to set a new record. We'll monitor things here down the stretch.
And it's going to be in the hands of walk-ons and bench players, which we'll have to wait and see how that all unfolds here in the last 3 minutes and 31 seconds.
Well, you made a good point during the timeout, too, is in that last huddle, nobody's aware of that.
No.
Nobody's talking about, hey, we got to make sure we get good looks. Hey, you could take shot clock violations the rest of the way if you want to get the record.
Yeah, but they're not here
doing that.
No, we're here to get better. We're not here to set records.
Well, that'll take us to a timeout on the floor. Notre Dame still has a large lead. Notre Dame's got a commanding lead in this one. There you have a good look at Nicole Benz, the walk-on who played for this team last year, won a national championship, was slated to be the student manager this season, but right before the season opener, she was promoted back onto the team, gets a chance to play tonight. Walk-ons, Coach, what do they mean to a program?
They do. They mean everything, and they do so many things. It's a thankless job at times, but they give so much. They work so hard. They added another dimension of a team, and I'm really happy for her. That just says a lot about her character as being one that said, you know what, I'm going to do whatever Coach asks. If I need to be the manager, I got to pick up water bottles and towels, or I need to play, so be it.
Kaylee Searcy picked up an offensive rebound there, stuck it back in for Western Kentucky. Lead down to 40 now. Great passing, you said, right there. And that's high-low between freshman and sophomore, right?
That is a great look and a great pass, and, the coaching staff's all smiles with that pass. No turnover.
Field goal percentage now at 73%. All-time record, again, if you're just joining us, 70.2%. As a missed left-handed hook ends up in the hands of Givens, and she can't get it to go. Been that kind of night.
Yes.
But she'll get free
throws. Just kind of rolling her eyes here and think, oh, nothing can go in for me. But maybe she can get the free throws in and get momentum getting ready for their next game.
Yeah, 2 for 14 tonight. For a player that averages 19.5 points a game coming in, third in Conference USA.
Well, talking to the Irish staff today, that was a major focus.
Yeah.
We've got to be able to know where she is at all time. They did that. They established that early. they set the tone that they're going to know where she's at on the floor.
Yeah, they came out in that zone, and then every time number 4 in red had the ball, they closed out a little bit extra on her.
Yeah, she had one look, and she knocked it in. Other than that, everything was contested.
You mentioned trying to generate some momentum for Western Kentucky. Their next 4 games are at home, so they'll like that, get a chance to go back home.
And they draw really well at home. They have a lot of tradition at home, and so, you want to get some momentum going here. Tonight was one of those teachable moments, but actually this is one that you don't even watch a film of. You don't even watch a film. You just move on.
Yep.
You don't talk about it. You say, ladies, we didn't play well tonight. We just got to get ready for our next game.
Yeah, leave the camera and tripod in South Bend.
Yes.
Buy a new one when you get back to Kentucky.
Well, I was afraid that they weren't going to come out for the second half.
Well, that was interesting. I have not seen a team stay in the locker room that long.
And, I think maybe they just lost, and that's not the head coach's responsibility. Everybody has a person on staff, be the manager or assistant coach, is always watching that clock, letting people know how much time they have before they go back in.
Maureen Butler steps into a long jump shot. That's off the mark. And now the Irish 35 for 50. That's a clean 70% from the floor.
Still in that matchup zone.
Long 3 from Alexis Brewer goes down. Brewer tonight.
I like that they just haven't quit.
Yep.
Even though the score, we know the results, has been that way since basically the beginning of the second quarter. But with that said, they have continued to play hard, and then they've knocked in some shots here lately.
The effort's been, I think, better in the second half, to your point.
Oh, yes.
Nixon has it out front with 10 to shoot. Jordan Nixon had it ripped away. Here's Givens out in transition, and she'll glide to the rim for an easy 2.
Yeah, that's been her easiest bucket, and she hadn't had very many of those opportunities tonight.
Final minute and 15 seconds. Notre Dame is going to move to 10-1.
And we've got one thing left. What's that field goal percentage going to be?
It's going to hinge on these next couple of possessions here. As Danielle Patterson is fouled. If the game ended at this very moment, they would come up 0.2 of a percentage point shy.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
So we need to get one bucket in here on this out-of-bounds play.
We'll see. See what ends up in the hands of here. Full shot clock, chance to run an offensive set here. Nixon inside to Patterson. Danielle Patterson can't get it to go, and I think that is going to do it for the record chase. Even though Notre Dame will keep the ball here, they got to make a few more.
They're going to have to, and they're not going to have that many possessions left. Yes. Everybody at the bench is really knowing what's going on here, except for the people on the floor.
Nixon, clean look for 3, knocks it down. No, Jordan Nixon has gotten some valuable minutes tonight. I think that's going to do a lot for her confidence.
It is. It's been a kind of tough start for her, but you can just see that she's playing with a lot more confidence now.
Back after missing a few games with concussion symptoms, and she's finding her footing here. In the final minute of this one, Western Kentucky going to go back to the drawing board. They'll drop to 5-8, but again, they'll have 4 in a row at home. It'll take them into 2019. And they, too, will get ready for conference play. That one's ripped away by Cosgrove.
Been a lot of block shots for the Irish.
Nixon has it, going all the way to the rack, banks it in, and she'll get a free throw as well.
Hey, that might be a difference maker here. The percentage going back up.
Well, my basic math, again, not a professional mathematician. As Nixon, you get a good look at her finishing in transition.
She went back with that right hand, too, which is really a key.
So that free throw will go down, and Notre Dame will end tonight with this performance. They shoot right at 70%, so just short of the record, 70.2. But just to put it in perspective, it's the 3rd best shooting performance in the history of Notre Dame women's basketball.
Wow.
Just an outstanding performance by Notre Dame in all facets tonight. They will win this one by a final of 94-53 and move to 10-1 on the season. Really about as good as we've seen them play offensively this season.
I always go back and say there's turnovers we can address, those things we're going to work on, but boy, there's a lot of positive things. I think the Irish are really starting to roll right now, and look out, opponents. Big game coming up with Marquette.